Right, let's speak to Mac, a Spurs fan. Hi, Mac.
How you doing, guys? You all right?
Yeah,
Mac.
we're okay, Mac. How are you? Did you go?
Yeah, I'm not too bad. And before Jason asked, I had 2 pizzas, 2 chicken sandwiches, and 2 sausage rolls.
So, hold on, there was like a menu there. I thought it was just sausage rolls or pies.
Was that all free?
Yeah, no, they've got multiple things in the South Stand, and so I decided to help myself to what I could get my hands on.
Say it again. What'd you have? What'd you have?
So between me and my mate, we both had a pizza each. We both had 2 chicken sandwiches each, and both had a sausage roll each.
I mean, you've got good value for money there, Mac.
Yeah, 2 pizzas. 2 chickens.
Yeah.
You've well and truly pigged out, haven't you? You don't need to eat till the season begins.
Mate, I starved myself all day for it just so I could see that bald numpty off.
I'm not having lunch. I'm going to go and have the free pizzas and sausage rolls and
60 quid's worth. Go on, what you boned up for, Mac?
So
are you known as Big Mac now?
Well, with the size of me at the moment, mate, my shirt's a little tight. So yeah.
Go on, sorry, Mac. Go on, what do you want to say?
Don't worry. Tonight was a disgrace. It's going to your point about players. Højbjerg was out there as well. At the beginning, they put a Tannoy announcement out telling us all to do one. No one else came out. Davison Sanchez came down the touchline to see his missus and his kid, but didn't go around the applaud. They all went off. They were booed off. They were hanging their heads.
Matt, let me just say, this is no defence, right? And I'm just putting the record straight. But all the players had the shower and then came out in their suits afterwards. I don't even know if there were fans in there. I'm not defending anyone. I'm just saying for some reason, about 40 minutes later, they did come out.
I was there half an hour, 40 minutes after the full-time whistle because the South Stand was going mental. Yeah. They were booed off, shouting for Levy out, rightly so. If he'd invested properly in his club, then players like Son, Højbjerg have started having dips in their form, wouldn't be stood there looking absolutely knackered. If we had a decent squad depth in the right positions, to cover these players that we've got, rather than flogging them game after game, season after season, then we would probably do a little bit better than what we're doing at the moment. And as much as people sit there and sort of saying, well, today this has to be on the players. Yeah, do you know what? They could have given more. They're in front of the home fans. We've paid £60 to be there. But at the same time, you've also got to turn around and say, well, if Levy had invested properly over the last few seasons, you said it yourself, we've come so close to touching the biggest prizes in football. And that's the point you turn around and go, well, Jesus, if we're that close to it, let me throw in 100 million, 150 million during this transfer window. Let's try and get there next year. Oh, look, we nearly did the Premier League. Let's try and get there next year. And they haven't. Daniel Levy scraping around the bargain basement to see what he can get and thinks that will do when we're a passionate fan base and we're a proud fan base. We believe our club is okay. During the 90s, we were 3 Point Lane, but then from Harry Redknapp through to just prior to Jose and sort of towards the end of Poch's tenure, we've experienced what we believe Spurs should be, and with the right investment, we would be right to think that way. Instead, it looks like we're going on the same decline that Arsenal did when they built their new stadium.
Yeah, it's going to be a bit of a big job to turn it round.
Oh, go on, Max. Sorry.
Go on, Max.
It's disgusting. It's disgusting that the passion that we have doesn't seem to be shared by Levy and Lewis and ENIC. Daniel Levy claims he's a lifelong Spurs fan. But the problem is his business, and don't get me wrong, you've got to give him his due for how well the club's run financially. You've got to give him his due for that. But if you're a fan, then why aren't you pushing for that little bit of extra money out of Lewis? Why aren't you pushing to spend an extra £10 million to secure the signature of Fernandes, because of the chance we could have got him at one point? Instead, he went to United, all because Levy would rather try and shave £7 million off a player's transfer fee because it works better for the Tottenham books. Whereas actually, if you'd have brought him in, we could have been in a different position, and long-term, financially, it would have balanced the books.
Matt, I hear what you're saying. I hear your pain as well. There is no real answer to that. There is no real answer to what's going on at the Lane. I can only assume because the debt is so big after building a brand new stadium, they have to tighten the purse strings. That's the only thing I can think of. And we've said it before with other clubs, but the gap between a side like Spurs, and we've talked about Newcastle, so I'm using them as an advantage because they're a lot further down. But if you're going to invest in a club and you're going to invest 30, 40, 50, 100, 150. The difference between finishing 7th and 8th and finishing 5th and 6th, it's a big gamble, isn't it? Putting all that money in to climb up the table 2 or 3 places. I'm certainly not defending anyone here, but what I am saying is the big heads are so big at the moment that you're going to have to put maybe 3, 4, 500 million
But if you're
pounds
Harry
in.
Kane,
Yeah.
if the fans feel like this, okay,
Yeah.
how does Harry Kane feel?
Yeah, no, but that's why he's leaving, isn't it?
You know, that's exactly it.
The Sports Bar with Andy Goldstein and Jason Cundy. Monday to Thursday night from 10 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.